So that still today is considered this very prophetic book that really touches on a lot of issues that we still are dealing with here in America today. And it has a very eerie sort of similarity, which a lot of times you will find in science fiction books from times gone past, is that they ring true to things that we are experiencing today. They often sort of touch on that fear or that um, those political or social issues that continue to be issues year after year, decade after decade. Um, so when he's writing this book, he's kind of like considering the impact of radio and television on the population, on society. He's also thinking about the lack of education, saying that he foresaw a time where teachers weren't going to teach books anymore. He described a fictional future where people are bombarded with sensation and stimulation, which ultimately takes the place of thinking. And the similarities kind of between that ring true today are our use of the internet. A lot of times we sort of rely on the internet versus thinking things through or doing double checking and fact checking to make sure the things that we actually are being told are actually factual. And he was seeing this with the invention of television and the impact of radio, that people were sort of taking it as just fact without any kind of background check, and it was scary to him, which really again rings true to what we live with today with the internet. So with that being said, even though he was questioning the impact of television and radio, Bradbury was a well-known lover of the arts. He loved movies. He loved the theater. He was actively involved in Hollywood. He wrote several screenplays. He wrote the screenplay for the movie Moby Dick. He developed his own cable series, which is called Ray Bradbury Theater. It ran from 1986 to 1992. And it was sort of a little bit like The Twilight Zone or something like that, where he basically adapted his short stories for television. His stories have also been seen in like Alfred Hitchcock Presents, The Twilight Zone, and Night Gallery, so television adaptations of those sort of supernatural or science fiction type tales. All in all, he's written over 500 short stories, plays, screenplays, novels, and essays. The most notable of his works are Dark Carnival, The Martian Chronicles, The Illustrated Man, Fahrenheit 451, The Golden Apples of the Sun, Dandelion Wine, Something Wicked This Way Comes, which you may have seen a movie version of, Zen and the Art of Writing, Essays on Creativity, and Chrestomathy of Ray Bradbury. Continues to be very prolific writer through the early 2000s. His work has won numerous honors and awards. Basically, any award you can think of for science fiction. He has won the O. Henry Memorial Award, Benjamin Franklin Award, the Aviation Spice Writers Association Award, World Fantasy Award for Lifetime Achievement, the Grandmaster Award from the Science Fiction Writers of America. He also very coolly worked as a consultant on the World's Fair in 1964, and as a consultant for Disney World, helping to design Spaceship Earth. He also later contributed to a space ride that is in Euro Disney in France, which is called Orbitron. So the story we are going to be reading from Ray Bradbury is a story called All Summer in a Day. So this is a short story that is set in a very dystopian world, very science fiction. I am, for this week's work and next week's work, what I'm assigning you is to read the story, which I'm going to attach. I'm going to have a link to that story where you can read it for free. And then I would like for you to answer some questions, which there will also be a link to that work. And then there was actually a short movie made of this story. And I'm going to attach a link where you can watch that for free as well on YouTube. Keep in mind, it was made in 1982, I believe. So it's, an old television version, and the picture quality is not stupendous, but you can definitely watch it and see what you think. See about the differences between the the short story, and the movie version, and maybe see if you can't get a little bit more from the movie version, because sometimes I think the story, you have to really like imagine what the people are thinking, and what their expressions would be, and really like kind of put your own thought process into what is happening in the story. So those are your assignments. Find the links below, and I will see you guys soon.